What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to make a video to show you how to use your Tarantula Voyager light and how to program the Grandmaster controller to work with your Tarantula Voyager light. So let's go. Okay, so now we got to get some information to program into the controller. So just navigate to grandmasterleds.com if you're in the US. If you're in Canada, you want to go to grandmasterleds.ca. Scroll down, find your light. We're looking for the Tarantula Voyager right here. We'll click on that. And then we're going to scroll down to the description. And there's a link here to download the manual. The digital manual. So just go to page 2. And depending on your voltage, 120 is your regular cord, 240, 277. That 240 is like the big cords from your dryer, that kind of stuff. But anyhow, we're on 120. And so we're looking at wattage. See on the left-hand side, wattage. And it's 1530 watts. But this is what we want to write down, the two driver wattages. So 765 and 765. So write that down. We'll use that later. And then scroll down and pick a spectrum. Here's your spectrums, your preset spectrums. So you look down here. Whatever spectrum you choose. We'll look at the spectrum 4 here. Say, for example, if we were going to take spectrum 4, you look at that spectrum. Underneath that spectrum, the first number is if you take this setting and run it at 100% on your main dimmer, it's going to consume 1030 watts. You'll probably have to dim it down to get, you don't want to run 1000 watts. But anyhow, the second set of numbers is what you set your two channels at to achieve this spectrum. So 100% on the warm white channel and 35% on the cool white channel. So I'm going to write those two numbers down. 100 for warm white, which is our channel 1. 35 for our cool white, which is our channel 2. And then you can look through the spectrums and pick whichever one you like if you want from the presets, or you can mix and match your own. All right, write that down, and we'll go back to... So here's kind of what I've written down, my wattage, my number 4 preset, what to set it at. And I wrote down my flower schedule. Since we're using a 24-hour timer, my 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. will be programmed as 7:00 to 19:00. All right, we got it all written down. Now let's take a look at this controller. Let's talk about the physical connections. You have your Grandmaster controller that dim out. That's where your RJ45, your blue cable that comes with the controller goes. And then that goes into the splitter box, the side that says input. From the other side, you'll have just be using two. See how it says channel 1, channel 3, if I can focus. Channel 3, channel 2, and channel 4. We'll be using just channel 1 and channel 2. So you put your black RJ12 cable in channel 1, connect that to your warm white channel on your the actual light fixture for the Voyager. And then your other RJ45 will come out of channel 2 and go into your cool white channel on your fixture. Easy as that. Okay, now we're going to be filming the controller. Sorry about my shaky hands. First thing, there's the master on off in the corner. That's going to always keep everything off. We're going to make sure that's on. Next thing we want to do is see how we have 4 channels. We only have a 2-channel light with the Voyager, so let's go to system settings. And you see on the bottom right where they got the 4 channels, you got just toggles to turn them on and off. We're going to use 1 and 2 and not use 3 and 4. So we're going to go ahead and shut off 3 and 4. And then hit the check button in the top right corner here to accept our changes and see how it's now just 2 channels. The next thing we want to do is set the power. So long press on the power. So I've dropped both channel 3 and channel 4 down to 0 wattage. And then we're using the wattage from the manual that told us. We wrote it down already, the 760 watts for channel 1 and channel 2. So I've got those inputted in. You can just plus or minus or drag with your finger. Once those are in right, 760, 760, we're going to accept the changes. And then all we have left to do is set a timer. Make sure your timer is illuminated like this, right? That would be timer off, and it's not going to run your timer. That's going to run your timer settings. So go to timer settings. Right now we have nothing, so we need an on command. So we hit that little plus. I went fast there. The little plus on the side there to add a command. And it gives us the option of the time and the 2 channels. Okay, so first thing First thing we want to do is change the timer. So we want the on time to be 7 a.m. So I'm going to change 7, enter, 7 a.m. on time. And the spectrum that we want to mix, we wrote that down. So it was 100 warm white and 35 cool white. Warm white's on the first channel. We're going to do we say 100 and 35? 29. 35. There we go. Save it. Now we have a command that says at 7 a.m., turn on channel 1 at 100%, turn on channel 2 at 35%. But we don't have a command to tell it to shut off the lights. So let's do that. Again, a plus over here. And so the off time, we're going to do military time, right? So if we want 7 p.m. off time, it's going to be 7 plus the 12, which is 19. So 19 here. And then for off, we just have to put all the percentages down to 0. Because if you put it at 0%, that's off. And then say OK at the top right corner here. And then that's saved it in there. Now you see there's multiple lines with a scroll thing. If you wanted to in the flower cycle, give it different spectrums throughout the day, you would do that by adding multiple lines at different times during the light cycle. And it will trigger those as it hits that time. It doesn't like, one common mistake is what am I doing here? One common mistake is people will say, oh, I went in and changed it, but it didn't change on the light. Well, it's not going to until it hits 7 o'clock. That's when it'll make that change. It just waits until the system time reaches one of the times over here, and it's going to do what it says. So that's we just set a timer for on and off. For lights turn on at 7 a.m., lights turn off at 7 p.m. That's like a flower cycle with a flower spectrum. So there you go. You're all set. That's the easy way to get up and going quick. You use this main dimmer to dim, but the spectrum is going to stay the same over here. So it's going to keep your spectrum as you dim or brighten your light. It also is going to take a calculation and tell you how much power draw you're using, because it knows how much power it's sending out from what we inputted earlier. See it changing? So there you go. Leave it on this screen, whatever you do. If you have a Voyager, there's no reason to hit this right here. That's the preset spectrum screen for the Borg and the Borg Evo with 4 channels. We have a 2-channel light. We do not want it to go into that screen because it'll automatically try to run all 4 channels. So stay on this screen and you're good to go. I hope that helps everybody. Have a good one.